All right, friends, it's T-Man, and we are back with a new video. And I'm going to react to this guy's video called Aaron Apke. So here Aaron Apke says, new studies prove the Jesus diet works. Jesus Way podcast 024. Yeah, okay. All right, man.
New emerging studies are proving definitively that the human body does not need gigantic amounts of protein to be optimally fit and healthy. And in fact, there are some pretty significant detriments to eating high protein. But we've all been propagandized with this myth that the human body requires huge amounts of animal flesh every day or else you're going to wither away. And in my opinion, it's nothing but a negatively polarized thought form used to hypnotize the masses into flesh consumption as the optimal way of living, as if God created a universe where the human cannot be healthy without the widespread genocide and murder of animals.
Okay, there's no proof of this God character creating humans, and everything he bases what he talks about is off belief. It isn't based on facts, because I haven't seen him prove anything he says. But okay.
Both healthier and fitter now than we've ever been before.
Healthier and fitter now than we've ever been. So why are people having to exercise if they're so fit? If they're so fit, why do they have to exercise? No animal in nature exercises because they're fit.
Mid-30s. We have received tons of questions, James, from men asking us to help them sort of assuage their fears that dropping protein intake will not make them any less strong or muscular. And so today we're going to bust the
dropping their protein intake won't make them any less masculine or what? Man, this is ridiculous. And anyways, the steak that he was showing you there was processed because it was cooked. So it's not in its natural state.
Myth, once and for all.
Aaron, what do you think it signals to God? I am willing to kill as many animals so I could get a little bit more muscle. And I never thought.
What does it signal to who? Who's this God character? Any proof? Man, these people, they just make up stuff constantly on their channels. They provide no proof whatsoever. Anybody could say anything and they believe whatever you tell them. Yes, just like that, right? Okay.
Thought about it that way when I was eating meat and working out, but that's basically what I was doing. I used to believe that if I didn't get a meal of meat in within an hour of training, that I would wither away, and it kind of takes a leap of...
Why would you wither away? Why are you training? What are you training for? Muscles are post-mitotic. You cannot build muscles. Muscles, they don't split, divide, and increase in number. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And they can hypertrophy. They can hypertrophy, but they hypertrophy through different means. Some is like sarcoplasmic. You have myofibrillar growth, contractile proteins, or inflammatory response, and I don't know, blood restriction, whatever else these people are doing, man. And lactic acid buildup. Those are all the means that would hypertrophy your muscles. Even, yeah, like I said, inflammation is one of them, which these people are constantly doing.
Faith, like, hey, I'm going to lower my protein and see what happens. If your goal is to live a long, healthy...
I'm going to lower my protein and see what happens. Okay, you're going to find out very quickly what happens when you lower eating your animal protein, yeah.
Vibrant, positive life.
You're going to be, vibrant, positive life. You're going to be a negative nitrogen balance. That is going to cause you a lot of problems. Possibly motor unit loss. You're going to deteriorate faster than you can regenerate if you do that.
If you can take that leap of faith, I believe you will be rewarded.
If you take that leap of faith, you'll be rewarded. Oh, yeah.
Shalom Alechem. Peace be with you. And welcome back, my friends, to the Jesus Way podcast. Today, we're excited to talk a little bit more about the hot topic of the month.
Well, it's a long video, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing, man. I just wanted to go through bits of this. It's funny.
Paul, but the Jesus diet. We've done,
I love this, the Jesus diet. There's no evidence.
4 some odd episodes now on the Jesus diet, and we keep getting questions rolling in.
I mean, he just made that up, the Jesus diet. He fabricated that stuff.
So we're going to answer one of the most important questions we've been getting,
Yeah,
which is
that?
all about this protein topic,
Okay.
which has been a big topic in the fitness world for a long time now. And we're going to debunk some serious protein myths today, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I think just another way to validate the Jesus diet as the ultimate and optimal human diet, as we've been
Sure.
saying. And speaking of fitness and nutrition, James, you're looking like you're ready to hit the gym today, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I sure am ready. We're going after this podcast, aren't we?
Indeed we are. It's squat day, man. Got to hit those squats.
Oh boy, fun stuff. By the way, your beard and haircut is looking especially on fleek today. I don't know if you noticed in
Thank you,
your
sir.
comments section on Instagram, some Pauline Christian said that you had a demonic haircut.
Somebody sent that to me and I just went, wow. In terms of ad hominem attacks, like that's got to be top level, you know? When you
Well, this is considered what slaves would have, very short hair. People in military, slaves, their hair was cut short. The nobles all had long hair.
you've run out of arguments,
And I'll tell you why the nobles had long hair, so they can distinguish themselves from the slaves. So you knew if you saw a noble walking down, he had long hair, you knew he was a noble. And these people with short hair, they were specifically made to have their hair cut short so you could identify them as being what they are, slaves. Well, they would classify you as a slave by cutting your hair, so now you're a slave, get it? It's just basically acting, but who cares?
what else can you say? Your haircut's demonic. It's like, thank you, sir. Checkmate.
Okay.
Bro, this is why I'm 5 steps ahead. I just buzz my head so I can't be accused of having a demonic haircut.
It's even worse.
Checkers, not chess. Oh wait, chess, not checkers.
These guys are pure slaves.
Other way, yeah. Paul, not Jesus, or something like that.
I never knew anybody. It's a religion. They carry religion over to this fitness, whatever genre thing, whatever they're doing here.
Hey, if you want to make sure you don't get ad hominemed by
Yeah.
Christians, just shave your head and be bald like Paul. You know, you're in the safe zone.
I'm just emulating the master.
I guess Paul was a slave too.
Ooh, watch out for those lightning bolts. But in any case, as we said, the Jesus diet has been a smash hit among our followers and listeners for very good reason. And the Jesus 40 Challenge is in full swing at the moment. And we've been absolutely loving your guys' testimonials and feedback, not just that come in from our YouTube comments, but from the Jesus Way Circle in Ford University. And you guys are taking this challenge really seriously, and we are very much looking forward to seeing some of your transformations next month at the end of the challenge. So in order to keep the momentum
me too.
going, we wanted to do a quick podcast today, reacting to some amazing new studies on protein consumption, which we think definitively prove what we've been saying, that the Jesus diet really is the optimal human diet, according to the way that our Creator designed our bodies to function. And
Oh,
so,
really? And how did he design it to be function? This so-called creator, which you have no proof of.
let me say this. The fitness and health industry or space over the last 20 years or so has been absolutely obsessed with high protein as the pinnacle of a healthy diet. First advice you're going to get from most nutritionists of how should I eat a healthy diet? They'll say, well, you definitely got to get a lot of protein, right?
Well, it served us well a long time ago, for sure. For your body to repair quicker than it's deteriorating, you need a lot of protein, yeah. And you would be getting enough protein anyways if you're eating it raw in its natural state, as you did previously generations ago, until you came up to this point. It's just based on marketing. Your food is based on marketing.
And yet cancer rates, disease, hormonal decline, human aging have all worsened significantly.
Well, yeah, why is that? Because you're eating domesticated animals that are not even eating their natural diet, which all the problems that they're suffering from are being passed on to you. And a lot of your other food is being poisoned anyways, because you eat a lot of artificial fake food, whatever, and these fruits and vegetables, you're eating them all year round. They're irradiated. They have their own pesticides. Yeah, they're toxic. Okay.
For these last 20 years, even though everyone's eating their 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight.
Yeah, but is that 1.5 grams per body weight? Is it grass fed? Is it naturally fed? Or is it soybean fed and grain and, I don't know, corn stalk fed?
And so, of course, America's health crisis can't be blamed on any one thing alone. But
You really? You think that, eh? Okay. When profit is more important than health. Okay.
we do think that this obsession with high protein and animal flesh consumption has definitely contributed greatly to the decline of health in America.
It's the protein that has caused a decline in America because they're not really eating that much protein, or dude, they're eating a lot of plant foods. So he thinks it's the protein that's causing the decline, even though animal protein is not deficient in any nutrients. However, the animals that you're eating today, they're not actually exactly eating their natural food that they're supposed to, and that's being passed on to you. So it's kind of obvious. But yeah, you need a lot of protein. You need to be either equilibrium or positive nitrogen balance.
And we're going to show you why we believe this today, based on some new studies that have recently emerged on protein intake.
I love this. Studies, are these scientific, real studies, or epidemiology studies, fake?
In order to meet these ridiculously high protein numbers, James, which everyone recommends and are touted as being...
Again, you don't have to. If you eat it in its natural state, uncooked, then you'll meet them. But also, you should look for animals that are eating their natural food, like grass-fed, like cows eating grass. They're grass-fed instead of grain-fed or grain-finished, or I don't know, soya bean finished.
Being healthy, you basically have to eat flesh all day long. And many famous fitness influencers who promote this way of eating love to make videos showing you.
Yeah, well, I don't see any other carnivore animal out there complaining that they have to eat flesh all day long, other than a human like him, an unnatural human. Okay.
A day in the life of how I eat every day to hit my 250 grams of protein. And it's always the same, right? It's eggs and bacon for breakfast, 2 chicken breasts with rice for lunch, protein shake.
I don't know. It's a lot of artificial eating. Okay. And their food is processed, it's cooked.
After the gym, and a big fat ribeye for dinner.
Sure.
It's like you're just consuming protein and flesh all day long. And as we've been discussing over our...
Well, if they're working out, they're trying to meet the demand for the breakdown in proteins. So they have to kind of outpace that as well, right? Because unless, of course, you may just restore what you just lost.
Previous 3 or 4 Jesus Diet episodes, there's some serious health consequences to doing that. If you are cramming protein into your body all day long, you are blunting all of the longevity.
Yeah, but you see, a person that is just doing regular activity, like walking, eating, doing certain things, how much protein do they require? Well, they're just going to eat as much as they believe they require. Now, a person exercising and I don't know, laboring, they're going to consume a lot more because their body's going to require a lot more.
Hormones in your body, like AMPK, FGF21, and GDF15, which
meat regulates, animal protein regulates your hormones, yes.
Slow down your biological aging, your cellular turnover, give you way more energy and youthfulness, and help you burn body fat while preserving muscle mass.
Oh, really?
These are all very good things that we don't want to blunt. And
I love how it says preserving muscle mass. The mass of the muscle. You know what preserves it? A lot of it's sarcoplasmic and water sarcoplasmic, this jelly-like substance. And there's some contractile proteins there for sure. And you have muscle fibers. So they're not going to just go away, your muscle fibers, preserving them. I haven't seen any regular person losing their muscle. They're not like losing it. Now, they look like they're deteriorating, but I don't see them losing any of their muscle. But they are deteriorating. Because the problem is they're not in positive nitrogen balance or equilibrium, either one.
Question or concern for most people is, but how can I have all of that and not lose all my muscle mass? And we've been trying to dispel this myth.
What muscle mass? You don't lose your muscle mass. All the people walking in the street, are they losing their muscle mass eating slave food diets all day too? They're not losing any of their muscle mass. I know what he's talking about.
On some of our previous episodes.
Okay.
So one of the things we've been talking about, James, is that when you eat huge amounts of protein, you are flooding your body with far too many building blocks, as we say, than it can possibly use in one day.
Look what he says. Flooding your body with building blocks. Yeah, building blocks to build your body. What causes repair in your body? These building blocks, amino acids. So when they outpace the breakdown, there's a reserve now for them to repair your body and keep you healthy. The only time your body is really going to repair is if it's got reserved proteins. Reserved. But if it doesn't, it'll just keep you alive. So I don't know what he's talking about. Even people that are trying to build contractile proteins, you still need a reserve of that protein to build contractile proteins, which nobody is really doing out there because they don't understand the process or the principles of building more contractile proteins. They're usually just building sarcoplasmic muscle or just inflaming their muscle, exercising, inflaming it. Because look at them. Look at their muscle. Does it look like it's going anywhere? Does it look like it's shrinking or getting any bigger? He's just imagining things.
And so most of it has to get eliminated through your kidneys and urinary system, which also takes a lot of energy for the body.
Yeah, but why would anybody eat that much protein? They don't have any money. They don't have time to eat that much. The majority of people that are out there. Me, myself, I can eat as much protein as I like, definitely. And I've got time and I've got the money, whatever that means to eat it. So I can do it. So if I can, why wouldn't I? If it is associated with protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown, that is associated with you regenerating faster than you're deteriorating. And you can reverse all the damage that you did. And now you can stay static. So why wouldn't I do that?
Notwithstanding the enormous amount of energy that you lose from digestion when you eat so much meat and protein all day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing anything, you consume a little bit too much, maybe. You're not doing anything with it. It's a possibility. Maybe you are meeting your demands. It depends. It's all relative. It's something you have to measure out and see how you have to go off feelings to see how you feel physically.
So as we've said, animal flesh is the most energy expensive food for the human body to digest.
No, it's not. What are you talking about? He says it's the most energy expensive food to digest. It's the easiest to digest because that's the food that we digest the easiest. Protein. We digest protein because that's our food. That's what we eat. We're carnivore. We have hydrochloric acid in our stomach. The moment the meat goes in, it just starts dissolving right away. It goes right away. It starts digesting right away. You don't feel anything. Your stomach's flat. You don't even feel like you ate anything. Hell, I could eat one big plate of steaks and still feel like I haven't eaten anything. Yeah. But I know I've hit satiety though. I feel good.
And although protein is 5 calories less per gram.
Here's the thing, because you're all used to feeling full, being bloated. You think getting really, really, really bloated, I must be full already. But you really didn't eat that much, and all you ate was garbage. And then people go like, well, an hour later, I feel hungry. I went to a Chinese buffet, and I ate all these vegetables and rice and shit and everything, these greasy things. And then, an hour later, I felt hungry again. Well, you felt hungry because you didn't really eat as much as you thought you did. You never met the demand in protein that your body requires. And so you're always in that hunger state. So you just thought you were full because you got inflammation and you started blowing farts. Because now it's fermenting, all this, fibers fermenting.
And then fat it has a far higher thermic effect in digestion. The thermic effect of fat is between 0 to 3% of its calories. Okay. Carbs are between 5 to 10%. And protein is
you don't need carbs.
Whopping 25 to 30% of its calories.
Well, science will corroborate what I say. Your muscle runs better off animal fat than it does off carbohydrates. And if you do run off carbohydrates for a long period of time, you'll become dysfunctional eventually. It's a known fact.
So in other words, For every 100 calories of steak protein you eat,
I mean,
only
look at your dog. If you give him carbohydrates, animal, or if you give him human food and stuff and cook it, give him cooked meat and stuff, look how your dog performs. He can't barely move because I know I know a lady, she gives him cooked meat and she gives him some human food. That dog can barely move around. He's completely crippled.
about 70 calories of those are going to be usable for digestion.
Pottinger study, the cat. In Pottinger study, he fed the cat pasteurized milk and cooked meat. And look what happened to the cat. Same thing. Became slow, dysfunctional. Yeah, kind of had all kinds of problems. Mutated.
Whereas with fruit, carbohydrates, 95 of those calories are usable after digestion. So this is why people who eat high amounts of animal flesh and protein generally age much faster. This is why
They age much faster. People that eat protein do not age much faster. You can probably age because of the broken DNA that you're ingesting because you've damaged the DNA by cooking your meat, processing it by cooking it. You know, I don't know for exactly how long that takes. It depends. It'll eventually catch up, DNA damage. But raw meat is not going to age you. If anything, it's associated with youth. It's associated with youth, providing that animal's not a sick animal. It ate its natural diet.
everybody jokes that the carnivore diet will turn you into a really fit grandpa.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at the looks maxing community for an example, what do they eat to do their transformation? They look youthful, young. They look masculine. They look really good. Their hormones are regulated. They eat raw animal products, right? Right? Okay. Go to the carnivore community, that side of the community, the elimination diet using meat. But they're cooking their meat. Have they really completely changed? No, they might have lost weight and a bunch of stuff. They've eliminated the plants which were causing them the problems, right? Because they don't belong in a human's diet. So they eliminated it, and then they just cooked their meat and stuff. But they really didn't completely transform like you would transform on a natural diet of raw animal products. See what I mean? That's a difference. You can measure this out. It's not hard.
Because it does.
Okay.
You're eating the flesh of dead animals, and death can only produce.
You're eating the flesh of dead animals. Well, we don't eat animals alive, but the flesh itself, it's really dead. If you cook it, it's still alive. Technically, it's still alive. But if you cook it, you've killed it. So you've killed the good bacteria and everything else in there.
Death. You're going to age faster. When you require your body to spend...
Look, if you don't introduce your body to these bacterias, why do you think I buy like fermented goat's milk? Because that's even better. They say prebiotic, it's in a pet store. You buy it in a pet store. Why would they make it for a pet? Prebiotic, good for gut health. It says they're good for gut health, prebiotic. But yet they don't want to sell it to you, raw milk or raw milk fermented. You could buy in your corner store. But they'll sell it for your pet. But why not you? Why can't you get the good bacteria and everything? Because they don't want you to be healthy. They're not based on health. They're based on marketing and making money. The industry doesn't care about health. Neither does this guy.
Enormous quantities of energy every day, digesting meat and protein all day.
Digesting protein and meat all day, but it digests rapidly. There's no inflammation. Your stomach is completely flat. There's no fermentation. You're not fermenting anything. It digests and it converts to amino acids. That's what it does. So I don't know what he's talking about. It's kind of really ridiculous. This isn't based on his experience, or what is this? Or is he just saying this on purpose?
You are obviously going to have less energy left over.
What are you talking about? If you get plenty of animal fat, you've got plenty of energy. Your mitochondria run well off animal fat.
For youthfulness and skin health and cellular regeneration.
Yeah, youthfulness, skin regeneration, and all of that. Look at the looks maxing community. They all eat. A lot of these other carnivore people, they too, looks maxing carnivore people are eating raw animal products. They look better. What is he talking about?
And all the things that lead to a long, healthy lifespan. So that's why the Jesus diet flips the script on this.
Yeah, long, healthy lifespan. All countries that eat, the majority of their diets are meat-based, are long-lived people in those countries, yeah.
Conventional thinking and says, no. Let's bring our protein down as low as possible within
Why?
the healthy range. And
Why would I bring down my natural food down, down? What is what is the healthy range? He doesn't describe, he doesn't explain anything to you what a healthy range is. In order for you to regenerate faster than you deteriorate, you need to be in somewhat positive nitrogen balance. So I don't know what he's talking about. And as a carnivore animal, you eating meat all day, you probably would meet that requirement all day eating raw animal products, providing they ate their natural food too. You're eating healthy animals, not sick animals. You understand me? They'll make you sick.
let's pump our bodies full of the life-giving energy and prana in fruit and carbohydrates.
Fruit, life-giving energy in carbohydrates and fruit. What are carbohydrates? Well, they're all filled with oxalates, lectins, tannins. All these, man, there's radiation found in them. They're from the ground. There's radiation. Some have more than others. What else? These fruits and vegetables, yeah, they're all irradiated, whatever. They're filled with toxins and stuff. And then there's fructose and sugar, which eventually will cause brain damage. Fructose causes brain damage, cause mitochondrial dysfunction, DNA damage, a bunch of things. Where is his proof that this stuff is so good for you?
It's filled with light codes from the sun and plant-based sugar.
Light codes from the sun. You should never eat any plants and go out in the sun. They'll make you sensitive and damage your skin because oxalates dump through the skin. So if oxalates dump through the skin, you go out in the sun, you're going to destroy your skin.
That fills our cells with ATP. And as I've
Fills your cells with ATP. Yeah, that's animal fat, ATP right there.
said before, whether you agree or disagree on the spiritual ethics of animal murder and flesh consumption,
I don't have to agree or disagree. Oh, the spiritual murder of animals, agree or disagree. It's a natural course of, it's the natural means of things to do that.
you don't even need that.
Look, it's the natural order of things. Why would I change the natural order of things? He wants to change the natural order of things and make them chaotic. He wants to, I don't know, he wants to control. Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of humans. They always want control. They always think they're in control. Authoritarian. He acts like an authoritarian, the way he speaks and everything. Like he's an authority on the issue that if you follow him, this religion of his, he's going to save you and take you to Valhalla or whatever, the happy place, you know, as long as you follow him and don't eat meat, don't eat protein, don't kill animals, don't hunt, don't do any of this. Just eat plants, which will actually destroy you in the long run. But hey, it'll destroy you in the long run. You'll suffer, right, for it. But guess what? When you die, you'll make it to the happy place. Oh, okay.
To want to avoid eating flesh. Here's all you need to know of why flesh consumption is not in your best interest. Because animal flesh,
Well, I'm not just eating the flesh, dude. I don't even remember eating flesh. But okay, yeah, I'm eating muscle meat. I'm eating the organs and muscle meat. Okay.
is again the single most energy expensive food and high thermic food for the body to digest.
That's absolutely it's absolutely false. He's making that stuff up. I told you already. As a natural we have higher acid in our stomach than the majority of other animals. We have hydrochloric acid. It's a lot higher. So we digest protein more efficiently, a lot faster. So we have to consume more because of that. We're just a different type of animal. That's all. Unlike lions, when they eat protein, they don't eat every day. Or there's dogs, but we're not, your dog is not really supposed to be eating all that protein every single day, meat every day either. Yeah. I mean, but you're feeding them something unnatural anyways, these pellets, whatever. They're just crap food. He's just eating and shitting, but he's an animal of opportunity. If you feed him, he'll just eat it because you just think he needs to eat every day, your dog. You're actually shortening his lifespan by feeding him every day anyway.
So the more flesh you eat, the faster you're going to age. And
See, the more animal protein you eat, the faster you're going to regenerate than you are deteriorating. And that's why everybody's deteriorating faster than they're regenerating, because they're not really eating the amount of protein that they should. Plus, they're taking on too much damage and they're not in a positive nitrogen balance. So they've got more damage because they've damaged the meat. They're eating all these plants and shit, toxic plants and fruits and things, and all these other fake foods on top of it, which is causing so much damage, which their body just can't handle. So you just deteriorate faster than you're regenerating. It moves at a slow pace, and then it starts increasing rapidly.
The more youthfulness you're going to lose. But
Well, I'm not losing my youthfulness. My youthfulness is pretty static. And if anything, I'm reversing a lot of the stuff I did previously to myself, being in nitrogen balance, positive nitrogen balance, where I'm regenerating faster than I'm deteriorating, which is helping a lot.
we don't want you to just take our word for it, because we're going to show you today a host of new studies on protein intake that prove this definitively. We do not need giant quantities of protein to be fit and strong and healthy.
That's not true. Humans need large amounts of protein to be healthy and strong because we have something called hydrochloric acid. It digests protein rapidly because I put it to the test, and I know for a fact I can eat a ton of protein, literally eat for 2-3 hours, and literally walk around, and I don't feel anything.
We already showed you guys all of our blood lab results, our physiques, and our body composition numbers after 2 years on the Jesus diet. We are both healthier and fitter now than we've ever been before.
Yeah, you haven't really done the test long enough. See what I mean? To put something to the test, it has to be long enough. There's no definitive proof of what he's saying. And there's nobody that has grown up on a natural raw carnivore diet from a child growing up. So we don't really have any proof of anything. So he's just making up stuff.
In our mid-30s. And yet still, so many people, mostly men in particular,
Yeah.
are still rightfully...
Well, I can argue the fact that I've been on a very high protein diet, and I'm so much better than I've ever been in my entire life. So there you go. See? He's going to tell you he's been on the Jesus diet, whatever that is, the fake diet, and that's made him so good. Okay.
so kind of programmed.
Let's say this. If he believes the word believe, if he believes that, then he should stay on that even when he starts suffering. See, the problem with a lot of these people, their beliefs, just like the vegan community. So when you go to the vegan compilations, all of a sudden you see them in videos and they say, oh, I never thought I would be making this video. I thought I would be vegan forever. But the moment it fails, right? These fake diets fail. What do? I'm no longer vegan. I didn't know I would be making this. My hair, and then they describe what happened, the reason why. Well, my hair fell out by PP palpitations. I can't breathe, this and that. So why not keep going with the diet? It was the best diet, wasn't it? It was making you all this healthy and you felt great and a whole bunch of stuff. What happened? You should carry your belief to your grave with you. And I believe these guys should not quit the Jesus diet and stay on it forever and take it with them to their grave. Get it? If you believe so heavily in something that's artificial, take it with you to the grave. Die with your beliefs. And there are some crazy people out there. If you look around, these vegan people, they literally died for their belief. They took it to the grave. They became so skinny, anemic, and then they died. They dropped on the fruitarian diet or breatharian diet or vegan diet because that's how insane people are.
By the high protein propaganda myth that we've all been fed. That if you don't eat at least 200 grams of protein per day, all your muscles will just shrivel away.
I don't know about your muscles just shriveling away because you're not getting 200 grams of protein. There's people who are going to tell you need, I can't remember how many grams of vitamin C a day, but nobody's really meeting that requirement in vitamin C. Your body doesn't produce vitamin C. It's all bullshit. You know what I mean? Your body is made to keep you alive for sure. You understand me? It will allocate all kinds of things in your body to keep you alive. That's its job. So I can't really talk on that, but you definitely need to eat animal products because if you don't, you will die. You will die. That's a given. We all know that. Your instincts tell you that because if you were dying and you had a choice to eat a bowl of salad or a steak, everybody would go for the steak and not the salad because they know the salad, they would die.
We have received tons of questions, James, from men asking us to help them sort of assuage their fears that dropping protein intake will not make them any less strong or muscular. And so today we're going to bust the protein.
Yeah, but it will deteriorate you faster than you can regenerate if you do that over time.
Myth once and for all and show you why it is,
of course, you will suffer health problems.
In your best interest to eat a low-fat, low to moderate protein, high carbohydrate diet.
No, you're wrong. You should eat a very high animal fat diet, high animal fat protein diet. So I switched and I started eating more high animal fat to protein diet. So if I go to the buffet, I usually start with very fatty fish, and then I eat, shrimp, a lot of shrimp, and maybe some other seafood. And then I eat my beef at the end, my protein, which, beef, I eat it at the end. Really? So there you go. Says a lot.
We also released our Jesus Way Axioms episode a few weeks ago, James. And the 9th axiom is the body is a temple. These 10 axioms.
Yeah, your body is your temple. You should treat it that way. When you break the laws of nature and you start eating plants, you will suffer. It will punish you. But if you do what you're required to do, it will reward you, nature. Eating raw animal products will reward you.
Are the rules we live by and how we truly embody.
How will it reward you? With youth, fertility, health, everything. Now, how will it punish you? Make you infertile. It'll age you, make you look deteriorated, and it will make you dysfunctional and unhealthy. That's why. That's how it punishes you.
Jesus Way philosophy in our life.
Yeah.
And so we believe strongly that a healthy body is.
Jesus probably ate a lot of meat if this guy was ever alive. This person they're talking about, this Jesus guy. If there was a Jesus guy, he most likely wanted people to go back to nature, and that's why they killed him. Anyway, I don't know. Really, honestly, I don't even know. Maybe he didn't exist. He did. Maybe it's just fantasy. Who the hell knows, man? Religions are all fake anyways. They're all created by man. They don't exist out in nature. Religions don't exist out in nature. They're just people talking and making up stuff. You know what I mean? Passing on their beliefs to other people. I have a belief of you should do this and you should live like this and whatever. And you should do this and that. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. That's all nice. You have these great beliefs. See what I mean? I don't base what I'm doing on a belief. You understand me? If you look up the definition of intelligence, just look it up. See what it tells you in there. The definition of intelligence. It's based on experiences and things, and you put them to use, and then you manipulate your environment to what you need it to be, like to gain out of it. But these two guys, yeah, it's just bullshit. There's no proof here. There's nothing here based on real anything. It's just belief.
Absolutely essential for spiritual growth.
Okay, whatever.
Physical health is where we begin in this life. It is the root system.
It is,
that
but
grounds.
if you started off on a peasant slave food diet, what would you know? You don't know any better. You've been conditioned from a child because when you came out, you were met with other slaves, and those slaves conditioned you to be a slave as well on the peasant slave food diet.
Us into physical reality.
So
gives us strength.
Why would I listen to anything a slave like him, a peasant slave, has him going to tell me what I'm supposed to eat to, this longevity and be young and a bunch youthful and all this kind of stuff? Why would I listen to him at all?
The longevity and endurance for this life.
Okay.
So if we're sick, lethargic, diseased, we cannot be of much use to anybody, let alone
You can't, but that's what's happening out there. Haven't you noticed?
ourselves. And as we know and talk about a lot here, Jesus himself emerged from this Essene type of.
The reason why people are sick and all that, whatever, dysfunctional, is because they base everything on belief and not facts. Like this guy, belief.
Judaism, which all of our first century historians say were remarkably healthy and lived remarkably long lives,
Look,
averaging.
man, If that was true, everybody would just believe in anything. The old saying in the United States is this: when you look on the dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust." In God they trust. They believe, right? They have a belief. Well, if they believe so much in what they're doing is right, then they should not be scared of anybody outside. You understand me? If there's no enemy within, then no enemy outside can do anything to you. You understand me? It's impossible for an enemy to do anything to you if there's no enemy within. You get it, man?
Over 100 years old, they say.
Okay.
And even Jesus' brother Simeon, who succeeded him as the leader of the Nazarene church,
Again, you can be your worst enemy. You need to be very careful how you tread.
was documented to be 120 years old when he was martyred by Rome.
Oh, 120. Wow. Maybe there are other people out there that were 200. According to a colonist, they said there were people here being like 150 years old or something, the native people. I don't even know if they want to tell you that. They wanted to get rid of that probably. They don't want you to know about people living that long. So they destroyed them. They could have been 200 for all I know. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know anybody on a natural diet, living naturally.
According to our historical data. So, for all these reasons and more, we believe that physical health was very important to Jesus and the first Nazarene Christians. So that's why we emphasize
physical health, right? Okay.
And will continue.
So they want to go out and spread the word of weakness, how to be weak in the world. Yes, spread the word on being weak. Okay, that's great. Yeah. So you can be taken advantage of. Strong survive and the weak die.
To emphasize that robust physical health and a diet that aligns with the goal.
See, here's the thing. Everything he promotes, this Jesus diet, is weakness. So, yeah, so they promote weakness, and the religion itself promotes weakness. You go out and being weak, turn your cheek, get slapped and all this, get beat up, get stoned, get crucified and die. You should die for your beliefs. You understand me? Which doesn't make any sense because there's no such thing, man. There's nothing to believe in. There's just facts and the way things work, instincts. You're born with instincts, survival instincts. That's about it. I think you should base it off that. You shouldn't base it off any belief or religion or whatever these people are promoting.
Golden rule, which Jesus taught, is an essential pillar of being a true disciple.
What did he teach exactly? To take it on the chin? Is that it? Right? Is that it? To get crucified, get killed?
Of Yeshua and living the Jesus way. So with that,
the Jesus way, eat bread, right? So you could destroy your health. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. And drink wine too? Drink wine, right?
That being said, James, I'll step down from my soapbox.
Why would this Jesus guy promote wine and bread and stuff? If it doesn't make any sense, man. The whole thing, right? Just doesn't make sense, man. But you see the old gods before the new gods, like this Jesus people, all that. The old gods, they were like, you had Thor, you had like Zeus and everything. They're powerful gods, they ate meat and everything, right? They're powerful gods. Even Osiris, the Egyptians and everything. All these older gods and all these other, these other civilizations, it was all based on like, masculine, built, masculine, strong. They ate meat, yeah.
Throw it over to you. Where do you want to kick us off today in this conversation?
Well, there's so many different things we could touch on, but I truly believe that gluttony is one of the most overlooked sins. And sin is such a loaded term, but something that leads...
I love this. Sins, they don't exist. That doesn't exist. There's no such thing as sin.
In America, it leads...
You're just making it up. But if you want me to elaborate on sin, yeah, sure. Use it in the context of religion, man. If you're breaking the laws of nature, you're sinning. There you go, against nature. That's the worst kind because then you will be punished.
People away from truth and a deeper connection with God. And it's kind of been normalized, especially in the church.
A deeper connection with this God character. You can't have a connection with something that doesn't exist, that you have no proof of.
And when we're talking about having lower to moderate protein levels, it really relates to gluttony. And
see how they equate it. First, they have to create the fake means called religion, right? And then once they create this fake thing of religion, then they can put all these other things in there with it. Like the way you should eat is according to this religion, and you should do this and you should do that. This is the proper way to go. Yeah, okay.
And self-control. Even for the people that are firm believers in the health benefits of eating meat, does that
The health benefits of eating meat, the belief, but it's not based on belief though, it's based on fact. That's why you said health benefits. He keeps equating meat with health benefits. He says it himself.
mean we should gluttonously pig out on meat 3 times
So he already said it was healthy. So should we pig out on it because it's healthy? Yeah, you should. Yeah.
a day?
Yeah.
Is that really serving our best interest?
Yeah, it is. Yes, it does. Yes.
And as we'll see in the data, eating that much animal protein or even that much protein in general can have negative effects.
What are the negative effects of eating something that is naturally healthy for you? What are the negative effects? Zero. But what happens when you eat food that is not naturally made for you and you consume too much of it, which he says is healthy? Well, guess what it's going to do to you? It's going to have negative effects. So something that has positive effects and you eat more of it can only have more positive effects. Get it? That's why they say positive nitrogen balance. Why would science say positive nitrogen balance is associated with regenerating faster than degenerating? Because it has positive what? Outcomes. Yeah, health benefits. Duh.
Now, I own a company that sells protein powder.
Yeah, okay.
I could easily go up here and say, you need as much protein as possible. But it's just not true from my personal experience. You really don't need any supplements, to be honest with you. Maybe B12.
I love this. You don't need any supplements. Oh, but maybe B12. You do need B12, but you don't need supplements. And B12 is found in meat. But I guess in his fake diet, he needs B12, right?
On a vegetarian diet.
That already says it right there. It's a deficient diet if it doesn't have B12. You'll suffer from neurological problems and you'll be screwed.
But you don't need supplements. Supplements can help you if you already
Well, on a fake diet, you may need it, but it'll only sustain you for so long till you die.
have other things dialed in. But really, it's these fundamentals, these basics, these nutrition axioms, if you will. Once you have those in place, everything else can fall into place. And now, the other thing I want to say is that I've unfortunately had to learn about this due to my mom's health issues. My mom had cancer. She had a stem cell transplant and miraculously.
She most likely got cancer because she ate the wrong diet. Animals get cancer because they eat their unnatural diet. They're not eating the diet that they're made to eat. That's why you get it.
Survived. But
See, people are going to tell you if you eat a lot of protein, you're going to get cancer. You're going to get all these things. But guess what? Nah, nothing's happened. Get it? Nothing has ever happened to anybody eating a high animal protein diet, any cancer or anything. But if you eat these plants and stuff, you're definitely going to get cancer.
she has late stage kidney disease.
Late stage kidney disease, because, plants, man, that does that. The peasant slave food diet does it.
And learning about kidney disease, I've found that animal protein is the absolute worst thing for your kidney health.
And why would it be that? Why would it be the absolute bad thing for your kidneys? Protein, which we're made to eat, when it is associated with regenerating and not you deteriorating. Give me a break, man.
And a lot of kidney disease stems from overconsumption of animal protein. And I dug into all these.
That's false. That's false. See, you can consume so much animal protein, but what happens is it will reserve it and it will digest very slowly and break down into amino acids. So when they say, well, you can only absorb 100 grams of protein. Yeah, maybe you can only absorb 100 grams of protein in that particular time limit while that protein is in your stomach. But guess what? It'll keep doing it throughout the day if you ate one big meal. So it is impossible for your kidneys to ever go bust or anything because, again, at some point your body will stop you from eating so much protein because it'll say, well, you know what, we reached a limit. You won't be able to swallow anymore. I know this for a fact because I've put it to the test. So he's lying. He doesn't know anything.
Studies for my mom.
See, I was oh, my mom and this and that. He's just fabricating. These people just fucking make up stuff, come up with fantasy things, man. It's crazy.
People are so much more likely to go on dialysis
Yeah.
if they have kidney disease and they're eating animal protein.
If they're eating animal protein, dialysis, kidney, they're most likely to go on dialysis. Yeah, okay, whatever. Man, I would have had these. Look, I'm pushing 60. I would have had these problems already a long time ago. I've been eating meat my entire life. That's all I ever really liked to eat is meat. It was my parents that pushed me to the slave food peasant diet. I had to eat it because they forced me to. They poisoned me. And then I thought, well, I was supposed to eat that. I wasn't sure, but I still ate a lot of meat throughout my life. I mean, a lot. I've gone through all kinds of things, put everything to the test. I built a lot of contractile protein by being positive nitrogen balance way back decades ago, building contractile proteins to see if it would work. I put it to the test. And I put muscle damage and being in positive nitrogen balance, I put it to the test to see if my muscle would grow. And it does because it's the fertile ground for being anabolic, being in positive nitrogen balance.
Give up the animal protein, their odds of going on dialysis are greatly reduced. And this flows over to just general health for our everyday life. The kidney is so important.
This is just bullshit. And people will believe what they tell them. You see, they'll listen to them and they'll go, oh, they must be spiritual. It's religion. It's just religious belief. So whatever they say must be true. So I should do what he says, right? And don't eat the meat, don't eat protein. But guess what? They will suffer the consequences. These people, here's the thing. The problem with these people, they are hurting people. There's a difference. Me on my channel, I'm not trying to hurt people. I'm not telling people to do anything. I'm simply making reaction videos and I talk about stuff. That's all. I share information. How you take that information is your own business. But these people, they're trying to convince people that what they're saying, their belief is everything. Forget about the science. Just go on their fake belief or anything like that. Like don't listen to your senses or anything like that. Just go off fake belief and that's it. And people they'll hurt these people, man. Believe me, they'll suffer because of that. Their fake beliefs. Lots of people do that in the fitness industry in this genre. They're just hurt. They hurt people with their fake beliefs because people are easily duped into believing what they say. Believe me, humans believe whatever people tell them, man. They're crazy. All right, friends. I'll see you in the next video. What else to talk about there? Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I'll go a little bit more here.
Important for purifying the blood. And when we overload it with animal protein, it really ages and deteriorates faster. And
that's funny because science tells you you regenerate faster than you deteriorate if you overload your body with protein. Being in positive nitrogen balance is associated with repair and growth. Repair. The surplus in protein is what repairs your body. But, you'll get these people, they'll come up with their own, fake beliefs to convince people because they have to convince you in these fake beliefs so that you, follow their belief.
This is interesting because the kidney is symbolic. Yeah. There's actually a bunch of quotes in the Old Testament about... Well,
I guess my kidneys have fallen out a long time ago because I've been doing this now like crazy for the longest time, man. But yeah, okay.
Kidney being a spiritual organ, even more so than a physical organ that involves ciphering truth.
Animals in the wild, the ones that eat the most, that grow the biggest, they're the most selective when it comes to procreating, and are the strongest in nature. Those are the ones that will survive. Yeah, the bigger animals survive.
From fiction, truth from falsity, right? So I truly believe
religion doesn't exist out in nature.
There's a spiritual component to this, that when we're eating massive amounts of animal protein, it really distorts our spiritual perception.
That's just like that guy that sold us Kellogg's, that Kellogg guy. Sold you Kellogg's cornflakes so you could take away He could take away your, what is this? He says your spiritual, whatever it's called, whatever. You won't think about procreating or having children or sex or anything, or, or even being developed. You won't develop even growing up. It's just ridiculous, man. These people are crazy. He grew up on meat. Now he's telling people not to eat it.
So gluttony, temperance, all of these concepts, while they are important for physical health, I believe they're just as important for our spiritual well-being and connection.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I'll see you in the next one, friends. I gotta go. Ciao. You tell me what you think about that. It's ridiculous.